when I was a kid, and I think most people who are old like me, some of you kids won't remember this, but you always had an art teacher and a music teacher. You could be in the poorest school district in the world. Now, I'm not saying music was always exciting, right? Sometimes, the teacher would be making you sing songs that, are from like the old show tunes, I had one music teacher making Oklahoma, where the... I was more into Stevie Wonder, so there was a... But the point is that everybody had access to music, everybody had access to art. And the reason is because people understood, even though they hadn't done the scientific research back then, we have done now, that children who learn music actually do better in math. Kids whose imaginations are sparked by the arts are more engaged in school. Kids who have physical education are more able to pay attention in the classroom. So these things aren't just extras, they are part of a well-rounded education. So part of the reason you're seeing schools eliminate art and music, though, or at least diminish them, is because of No Child Left Behind. A law that was intended to raise standards in local schools, but what happened was, because it relied just on a single standardized test, school districts felt pressure to just teach to the test. And this school district is a little better off than a lot of school districts, but no, it is, I promise. You go to a bunch of the school districts and they're having a tough time. But in a lot of school districts, they just have to make choices. And they decide, if we're going to bring our kids up to test level, all they can do is just study math and reading every day, all day long. They've eliminated recess, they've eliminated art, music. And so part of the solution then is changing No Child Left Behind so that the assessment is one that takes into account all the factors that go into a good education and is developed with educators, not to impose school, to punish schools, but to improve schools. And the other thing is that we have to just improve arts and music funding generally in schools, but also outside of schools. And the endowment for the arts, our support of the public arts, our support for arts institutions, all those things should be a priority, and they don't cost that much money. They really don't. But you get such a big payoff. And one last point, I made this actually yesterday in Scranton. Part of what arts education does is it teaches people to see each other through each other's eyes. It teaches us to respect and understand people who are not like us. And that makes us better citizens, and it makes our democracy work better. And that's something that I strongly believe in. That's one of the main reasons we need to promote the arts.